Hello my diamond art friends, my name is Ilene and welcome to my channel. If you are new to my channel, welcome. And if you are returning, thank you for your continued support and friendship. For today's video, I am going to do a whip and chat. I am working on Owl Weighs Anxious, which is the tarot card to start my event, Tarot Time. And I haven't made a super great amount of progress on it this week. I did take one evening to work on the ugly Valentine sweatshirt I'm making for one of the residents at my Sunday job, which I need to work on after this is over, the sleeves. And I've actually been not diamond painting as much. I'm still diamond painting every day. It's just around 8:30 and 9 o'clock at night I stop because I start diamond painting when I get done with work. So I usually diamond paint a couple hours and then I go and sit on the couch and relax, which hadn't been what I was doing in the past. I'm trying to help myself wind down in the evenings. That doesn't involve diamond painting. I'm gonna start, I think, trying to unwind reading a book on the couch and see how that works instead of just having TV on with noise and not watching it. Anyway, I am gonna do my whip and chat today. It is February, obviously, and here in the United States, it is Black History Month. And I wanted to just talk about some history-making people of color that we might not necessarily have heard of. Like, you know, we have heard about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, Maya Angelou, James Baldwin, and Muhammad Ali. But there may be some other names that we could discuss, right? There's so many amazing history-making people of color. So I thought, to celebrate diversity, and honestly, diversity, in my opinion, is what makes the United States special. And for those in our government that are trying to not celebrate the fact that there are so many different types of people living in this country, is very disheartening to me. And this month, though I am a Caucasian, this month's very special to me for reasons just that I love the fact that people are diverse. I have many friends that are people of color, and I have 4 nephews that are all in their 30s but one, that fathers are Haitian. So my nephews have the most beautiful brown skin. And my first nephew that was born when I was 14, Kevin, he was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen at the age of 14. And at his age of 35, is still one of the most beautiful people I have ever seen. Anyway, so with that being said, I am going to do a whip and chat on, history-making people of color, Americans, to celebrate them, and hopefully we all learn about someone we didn't know about. And so we'll get started. I'm gonna get my drills poured out. I am using an ephemera 3D Deep 6 tray. I've got my pen from True Vampire Art using the pink and black filament. I'm using alien putty in both the multi-placer and the single placer. And if need be, I will use my NYX Notion small tray. And if we get to any ABs, I will be using a little sponge and some water to dip my pen in first so the alien putty doesn't stick. All right, so the first person on my list to talk about is Shirley Chisholm, born 1924, and she passed away in 2005. So let's lay down some drills, and then we'll talk about Shirley. Congress is more diverse now than ever before. However, when Chisholm was attempting to shatter the glass ceiling, the same couldn't be said. During the radically contentious period in the late 1960s, she became the first woman of color to be elected to Congress. She represented New York's 12th district from 1969 until 1983. And in 1972, she became the first woman to run for the Democratic Party's presidential nomination. Her campaign slogan, "Unbought and Unbossed," rings even louder today. Senator Kamala Harris paid tribute, or Vice President Harris, she was probably senator at the time, paid tribute to Chisholm in her 2020 presidential campaign announcement by using a similar slogan. The next person, number 2, is Bernard Rustin, 1912 to 1987. Sorry, I printed it out so I'd be able to read it better. Dr. King is usually credited for the March on Washington in August of 1963. But it was Rustin who organized and strategized in the shadows. As a gay man who had controversial ties to communism, he was considered too much of a liability to be on the front lines of the movement. Nonetheless, he was considered to be one of the most brilliant minds and served his community tirelessly while pushing for more jobs and better wages. Okay. Get that 3 covered up. Good old 310. It's always a good color to start with. Number 3 is Claudette Colvin, born 1939. Before Parks refused to give up her seat on the bus in Montgomery, Alabama in 1955, there was a brave 15-year-old girl who chose not to sit at the back of the bus. That young girl was Colvin. Touting her constitutional rights to remain seated near the middle of the vehicle, Colvin challenged the driver and was subsequently arrested. She was the first woman to be detained for her resistance. However, her story isn't nearly as well known as Parks'. Number 4, Anna Lee Cooper, 1910 to 2010. The Selma, Alabama native played a crucial part in the 1965 Selma voting rights movement. But it wasn't until Oprah played her in the 2014 Oscar-nominated film Selma that people took notice of Cooper's activism. She is lauded for punching an Alabama sheriff, Jim Clark, in the face, but she really deserves to be celebrated for fighting to restore and protect voting rights. You go, girl. I mean, I'm not one to just say go ahead and be violent, but you know, you do you, boo. Good for her. A strong woman. Dorothy Height, 1912 to 2010. Hailed the godmother of the women's rights movement, Height used her background in education and social work to advance women's rights. She was a leader in the Young Women's Christian Association, also known as the YWCA, and the president of the National Council of Negro Women, known as NCNW, for more than 40 years. She was also among the few women present at the 1963 March on Washington, where Dr. King delivered his famous "I Have a Dream" speech. Ooh, let me get that one and this one. And I think I'm done with the threes. I am, so I'm just going to change out to the question mark, and then we'll continue on to number 6. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. All right, so let's lay a couple of these bad boys down. All right, number 6, Jesse Owens, 1913 to 1980. Owens was a track and field athlete who set the world record in the long jump in the 1936 Olympics. Stuck together, there we go. All right, let me fix it, there. That was in Berlin and went unrivaled for 25 years. He won 4 gold medals at the Olympics that year in the 100 and 200 meter dashes, along with the 100-meter relay and other events off track. In 1976, the year I was born, Owens received the Presidential Medal of Freedom and was posthumously awarded the Congressional Medal in 1990. Number 7 is Bessie Coleman, 1892 to 1926. Despite being the first licensed black pilot in the world, Coleman wasn't recognized as a pioneer in aviation until after her death. Though history has favored Amelia Earhart or the Wright brothers, Coleman, who went to flight school in France in 1920, paved the way for a new generation of diverse flyers like the Tuskegee Airmen, Blackbirds, and Flying Hobos. I did not know that. Very, very cool. It's very cool. All right, let's get a couple more of these drills down. Couple more. Okay, number 8 is Robert Stack Abbott, 1868 to 1940. Without Abbott's creative vision, many of the black publications of today, such as Ebony, Essence, Black Enterprise, and Upscale, wouldn't exist. One's upside down. I don't like it when I pick up a drill when it's upside down. All right, let me just get this row done. Okay. In 1905, Abbott founded the Chicago Defender weekly newspaper. The paper originally started out as a 4-page pamphlet, increasing its circulation with every edition. Abbott and his newspaper played an integral part in encouraging African Americans to migrate from the South for better economic opportunities. Number 9 is Ethel Waters, 1896 to 1977. Let's shake this just so I can get some more drills that I can pick up. All right. Waters first entered the entertainment business in the 1920s as a blues singer and then became a Broadway star. Later in life, she made history for her work in television. She was the first African American to star in her own TV show, The Ethel Waters Show, and she was nominated for an Emmy in 1962. Do a couple more drills. I knew I should have put that one there, but when I was doing the other ones. Oh well. Number 10 is Gwendolyn Brooks, 1917 to 2000. Today, Brooks is considered to be one of the most revered poets of the 20th century. She was the first Black author to win the Pulitzer Prize in 1950 for Annie Allen, and she served as poetry consultant to the Library of Congress. That's pretty neat. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna put a couple more drills down. She became the first person of color, a woman, to hold that position. She was also the poet laureate of the state of Illinois, and many of her works reflect the political and social landscape of the 1960s, including the civil rights movement and the economic climate. Let me put down some more drills. I love the sound of the snap when the drills stick. So great. Anyway, we're gonna do 2 more and then get to the next person. Alice Coachman, 1923 to 2014. Growing up in Albany, Georgia, the soon-to-be track star got an early start running the dirt roads and jumping over makeshift hurdles. She became the first African-American woman from any country to win an Olympic gold medal in the 1948 Summer Olympics in London. She set the record in the high jump, leaping to 5 feet 6 1/8 inches. Throughout her athletic career, she won 25 national titles, 10 of which were in the high jump. She was officially inducted into the National Track and Field Hall of Fame in 1975 and the U.S. Olympic Hall of Fame in 2004. Right. A couple more of these, just so I'm diamond painting and doing the talking. Number 12, Gordon Parks, 1912 to 2006. Parks was the first African-American photographer on the staff of a Life magazine. And he later helped found Essence. He is also the first Black writer and director of a studio film, his second movie, Shaft, helping to shape the Black exploitive era in the 1970s. Parks famously told Life in 1999, "I saw the camera could be a weapon against poverty, against racism, against all sorts of social wrongs. And I knew at that point I had to have a camera." What a fantastic quote. I love that. Oh. Oh, that's from the beginning. That's all right. My paper, I have a fan on. My paper's flying around a little bit. It's okay. No worries. I got myself under control, I think. Ooh. Some days I'm not sure, but I think I'm good. I think I'm good today. All right. Number 13 is Jane Boland, 1908 until 2007. A pioneer in law, Jane Boland was the first Black woman to attend Yale Law School in 1931. All right. In 1939, she became the first Black female judge in the United States. One of her signature contributions throughout her career was working with private employers to hire people based on their skills as opposed to discriminating against them because of their race, which is unfortunately starting to rear its ugly head again here in our country, which is sad. The policies that have been put in place to diversify and give everyone a chance is now those policies by some companies, thanks to the person in charge of our country. He can write as many executive orders as he wants, but it doesn't make him a very good human. And sorry I'm making it political, but that's too bad. What's happening right now is really just, it's just a sad, overwhelming thing. Anyway, let's continue on and learn more about this amazing, amazing woman. She served on the board of the NAACP, Child Welfare League of America, and the Neighborhood Children's Center. Number 14, Maria P. Williams, 1866 to 1932. Thanks to the early accomplishments of Williams, who has been called the first woman of color producer, we have female directors and producers like Oprah, Ava DuVernay, and Shonda Rhimes. And if you don't know who Shonda Rhimes is, ooh, child, where you been? Anyway, Williams' 1923 film, The Flames of Wrath, had a team of all people of color. And beyond that, the former Kansas City teacher was an activist and writer. She detailed her leadership skills in My Work in Public Sentiment in 1916. All right, let me pop the drill out of the thingy-mabobber. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. Popped it up. I'm thinking up over the tray. The tray. I think I need to take just a quick sip of my Dr. Pepper. I've been on the hunt for the blackberry Dr. Pepper, but I have not found it yet. So I'm having some strawberries and cream Dr. Pepper today, which I haven't had one all week. I'm trying to behave myself. And so I'm trying to cut back. But if that blackberry one is delicious, I may just, you know, gobble that right up. All right, let's get to number 15. Number 15 is Marsha P. Johnson, 1945 to 1992. Before Netflix brought Johnson's story to life in the documentary of the life and death of Mary P. Johnson, many people were unfamiliar with the influential role she had on drag and queer culture. Johnson, a black trans woman and activist, was at the forefront of fighting for LGBTQ rights in the 1960s and 70s, including partaking in the resistance at Stonewall. In addition to being the co-founder of STAR, an organization that housed homeless queer youth, Johnson also fought for equality through the Gay Liberation Front. I know, well, you all probably can figure out that I probably am a fierce defender of everyone's rights, and I am definitely someone who, if I had likely known this amazing woman, I would have marched alongside her, most likely. Because I just have this silly thing in my head, you know, and when I was taught growing up that everybody should have the same rights as everyone else. But what do I know, you know? All right, so I think I've got most of the question marks. I think what we'll do right now is, I guess we'll do the small letter T, the lowercase t, and then we'll go to the next person. On our list. Okay, number 16, Minnie Riperton, 1947 to 1979. Mariah Carey is heralded for her whistle register, which is the highest the human voice is capable of reaching. Well, that doesn't belong there. Gonna just sneak that somewhere else. I'm just gonna leave that over here for now, instead of trying to put it away while we're talking. All right. Or while I'm talking to you. All right, let's go. But Ripton perfected the singing technique years before and was best known for her 5-octave vocal range. Oh, come on. A bit of trouble. Got it now. Got it. Sorry. That's what I get for trying to do 2 things at once. All right. The whistling can be heard on her biggest hit to date, Loving You. The infectious ballad was originally created as an ode to her daughter, Maya Rudolph, of Bridesmaids and Saturday Night Live fame. However, before she could become a household name, Ripton died from breast cancer at the age of 31. I love Maya Rudolph. She is a very funny lady, and I believe she also can sing some too, so she probably got that talent from her mama. So that is pretty awesome. I did not know who her mama was. I do love seeing Maya Rudolph in like anything. She's a comedic genius. She's amazing. All right, anyway. Let's us go to number 17, Ruby Bridges, 1954 until present. Put down a couple drills. And if you don't know who Ruby Bridges is, I would think, you know, you might be, you know, needing to brush up on some of y'all history. If you are from the United States, at least. You should know who she is. Oh, there's another one. Put that over there. Ooh. Do-do-do-do. All right, so Bridges probably had no idea that the bold act she committed in 1960 would set off a chain reaction leading to the integration of schools in the South. She was just 6 years old when she became the first African-American student to attend William Frantz Elementary in Louisiana at the height of desegregation. As an aside, Frantz, F-A-R-N-T-Z, I have a nephew with that name. Anyway, very cool. I've never like seen it anywhere else. He would be my one of my nephews that are part Haitian, and his name is Franz Mazzario. Anyway, not that you guys need to know that, but that just tickles me a little bit. I've never seen it before, and that makes me happy. All right, now the Ruby Bridges Foundation exists to inspire the next generation of leaders to end racism together, one step at a time. Let's hope we can continue to do that, move forward instead of backwards. It's amazing, really amazing. Okay, I think I'm done with all the little T's. I am going to do the uppercase J's just because I don't want to do the uppercase T's. I get confused when I do lowercase and uppercase of the same letter. It can confuse me. I have no reason. I have no idea why. It just does. All right, let's get to the next one though. Oh, was that it? I don't know where the other stack of papers are. All right, well, that was supposed to be 31 of them and I only got 16. I must have misplaced my paper. Well, so I guess what I can do, let me get my iPad on quick and see if I can just kind of, maybe we can look up and talk about Black History Month just as how it came to be and why it is to be and those kind of things. So let us get to getting things on, and while I'm waiting for my iPad to start cooperating, because sometimes it likes to not cooperate, I'm going to turn on my type in Black History Month, and I can just read off from there. I might have to put my glasses on though. Yep, I gotta grab my glasses because it's a little bit smaller, and the glasses does lift it up a little bit. I'm just gonna have to go up and down. All right, sorry about that, guys. You know what? I guess like it would not be a video of mine if it wasn't a little bit kind of, things didn't go exactly as easy as I wanted them to. I don't know why it didn't print out. My the whole thing, but whatever. I'm not gonna stress myself about it. Let's do some J's here. Okay, so as I said, February is Black History Month, and so I'll just read a little bit about what Black History Month is. So Black History Month is an annually observed commemorative month originating in the United States. It's also known as African American History Month. And it began as a way of remembering important people and events in the history of the African diaspora. I'm not sure I said that right, so if I said it wrong, sorry. Initially lasting a week before becoming a month-long observation in 1970. It's celebrated in February. In the United States and Canada, where it has received official recognition from the government, and more recently has been celebrated in Ireland and the United Kingdom, where it is observed in February. So originally, it was called Negro History Week in 1976, and it was created in 1926 when historian Carter G. Woodson and the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History announced the second week of February to be a Negro History Week. This was chosen because it coincides with the birthday of Abraham Lincoln and that of Frederick Douglass on February 14th, both of which Black communities had celebrated since the late 19th century. Oop. There it goes. All right. Now, there is an example. In January of 1897, school teacher Mary Church Terrell persuaded the Washington, D.C. school board to set aside the afternoon of Douglass's birthday as Douglass Day to teach about his life and the work in the city's segregated public schools. The thought process behind the week was never recorded, but scholars acknowledge two reasons for its birth: recognition and importance. In 1915, Woodson had participated in the Lincoln Jubilee. I'm gonna straighten these out again. Put a couple drills down. Okay. Now, that had been celebrated for the 50 years before the emancipation of slavery that was held in Bronzeville, Chicago. The summer-long Jubilee would draw thousands of attendees from across the country to see the exhibitions of heritage and culture. This impressed Woodson with the need to draw organized focus to the history of people of color. He led the founding of the ASNLH in Chicago that fall toward the end of the Jubilee. In the early event's history, the African American newspapers lent crucial support for the event's initial phase. Primary emphasis was placed on encouraging coordinated teaching of Black American history in the nation's public schools. It was met with lukewarm response at first and gained the cooperation of the Departments of Education in the states of North Carolina, Delaware, and West Virginia, as well as city school administration of Baltimore, New York City, Philadelphia, and Washington, D.C. Despite its limited observance, Woodson regarded the event as one of the most fortunate steps ever taken by the association, and for an annual repeat of the event continued. Now, in 1970, it became Black History Month. Black educators and Black United students at Kent State University first proposed Black History Month in February 1969. The celebration of Black History Month took place at Kent State a year later, from January 2nd to February 28th, 1970. 6 years later, Black History Month was being celebrated all across the country in educational institutions, centers of Black culture, and community centers, both great and small, when President Gerald Ford recognized Black History Month in 1976 during the celebration of the United States bicentennial. He urged Americans to seize the opportunity to honor the too often neglected accomplishments of Black Americans in every area of endeavor throughout our history. So that's pretty neat, and I wish I could have printed out that whole article, but I've been jabbering on a little bit, and it's kind of my small little way of honoring Black History Month and kind of making sure that I continue to shine the light on the fact that every person who isn't what some considered preferable, meaning, you know, if you are in a minority or part of a marginalized community, that you don't get to celebrate yourself. And yeah, I am not going to do that. I am going to speak up, speak out, and be who I need to be. So these celebrations of diversity that our national government, or the leader of our country, has decided are not important, are going to remain important to me, and I will continue to shine a light and support those who are in these communities, and along with myself, because this also includes just anyone that isn't a straight white man. Anyway, yeah, not cool. But anyway, that is my video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry that I can't find all 31 of those. I don't know what I did to the other half of that printout. I thought I had it all together, but I didn't. So hopefully my next WIP&CHAT will be a little bit better. if you enjoyed this chat, thank you very much. And if you listened until the end and sticking with me, thank you. I have included 3 keywords in this video because it's going to be a long one. Yeah, that's it. So please like and comment. And I hope you all are getting your tarot card crafts worked on, and you're having a good time. Gonna try to get a little bit more interactive in the Facebook group once I get that sweatshirt done for the resident at my Sunday job. So have yourself a nice day or night, whatever it is for you. Take care. Happy diamond painting. And until my next video, bye.